Alright, what is going on everyone? Cloudy back here with another Destiny 2 video. Today we're going to be talking about the Destiny 2 update for December 5th, which came out with the Curse of Osiris, the update 1.1.0. So it seems like it's a pretty big change, hopefully towards the right direction to make this game even more enjoyable. That way people continue to play it and it's more replayable. So it's going to be a pretty long video. If you just want to listen, that's probably a good idea. If you can't visualize what I'm saying, what I did was actually read the update while watching the video. I think that really helps. That way you can follow along. So that's what I would recommend. If you want to not watch this video and just read it for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started. So Destiny 2 update for December 5th, which is 1.1.0, the one about Curse of Osiris. Alright, so the abilities for general, they just increased the damage dealt to bosses for super abilities, which is great. Super excited for that, using it in strikes. Adjusted the output of the recovery stats so that characters with the lowest recovery totals will start regenerating slightly faster, which sounds good. For grenades, they've reduced pulse grenade damage slightly and toned down the intensity of camera shake and controller rumble associated with each pulse, which, I'll talk about it later. They reduced the recharge rate of additional grenade charges beyond the first. Normalize the recharge rate of Arc Bolt, Fire Bolt to match the other grenade archetypes. Increase damage inflicted to combatants by Flashbang, Magnetic Suppressor, Incendiary Fusion, Skip, Flux, Arc Bolt, Swarm, Tripmine, Storm, Firebolt, Axion, and Scatter Grenades. So I guess they normalized all those. For the Titans, they fixed an issue allowing the Titans Rally Barricade ability to generate infinite ammo for certain weapon types, the Dubious Volley or Wardcliff Coil, if you will. Fixed an issue allowing players to chain Fist of Havoc abilities indefinitely. Decrease the distance traveled in air with the Shoulder Charge ability when it is executed without a target. That's exciting. Increase the number of solar hammers that can be thrown during the duration of the Hammer's Soul Super ability. I don't use it, but that sounds good. Extended the timer for Hammer Strike weakens for the Hammer Strikes weaken debuff by 1 second and corrected an issue that was causing the visual effects not to represent the duration properly. The Sunspot health regeneration buff now lingers for 3 seconds after moving through a sunspot. Tempered Metal and Soul Invictus no longer trigger off combatants' solar shield detonation kills. Moving on to the Hunter, they have the Arc Strider dodge now briefly breaks tracking. The base duration of Golden Gun now is the same for both paths, which sounds incredible. Makes me want to use it more. Shadow Shot now suppresses targets immediately on a direct hit, which was much needed from the beginning. Shadow Shot no longer tethers dropships. Increase the amount of time available to fire arrows while using the Mobius Quiver upgrade to the Shadow Shot super ability. Another great change, a lot of good stuff for the Hunter. Warlocks. Explosive rounds no longer receive bonus damage from Empowering Rift. The Heat Rises perk no longer triggers on destructible objects. Updated the Devour perk description to correctly indicate that the ability is triggered on kills, not just hits. The Nova Bomb created by the Cataclysm upgrade maintains its initial speed for longer before slowing down. Moving on to armor, we have the Hunter Leg Armor with Survivalist stat package now grants recovery. Exotic Armor. Mask of the Quiet One no longer grants energy when the wearer takes damage from friendly players, which was a glitch I thought. Shield Bash now triggers the dreaded Visage perk on the Mask of the Quiet One. Slightly increased the damage dealt by the ACD/0 feedback fence, and kills with the Fury Conductors perk on the feedback fence now shows the correct icon in the kill feed. Adjusted the grenade recharge rate granted by Starfire Protocol to compensate for the global decrease in the second grenade recharge rate. Improved ready and stow speeds on Peacekeepers. Added an additional perk to Lucky Pants that loads a single bullet to the chamber of a stowed hand cannon whenever the player scores a precision hit with any weapon. Rework the Karnstein armlets in 2 ways. On a melee hit, the armlets now provide heightened mobility and recovery and highlight low health targets, and scoring a kill with a melee immediately restores a significant amount of the wearer's health. Fixed an issue with Dune Marchers where the linear actuator perk was not triggering consistently. Moving on to weapons, for general we have increased the base damage and reduced the precision modifier of precision auto rifles. Slightly reduced the aim deflection of high caliber rounds on auto rifles and scout rifles. Reduced the effectiveness of aim assist at higher ranges on scout rifles. Reduced severity of recoil on Hake high impact auto rifles. Hand cannon accuracy recovery now scales with rate of fire, so it looks like you gotta shoot slower. Improved base aim assist on aggressive hand cannons. Slightly increased the rate of fire between burst on all on sidearms, so the last hope's even faster now. Slightly increased impact damage on lightweight single shot grenade launcher. Still not gonna make me use them. Fixed an issue with the tireless blade sword perk where players could sometimes get sword ammo from an unpowered sword attack. Fixed an issue where the infinite guard perk would drain ammo when guarding in a healing rift. The relentless strike sword perk no longer returns ammo on heavy attacks. And when comparing sniper rifles stats, the UI correctly updates for maximum magazine values. Fixed an issue with ambitious assassin to make it more consistent. For exotic weapons, they've increased the fighting lying damage and changed Thin the Herd perk to now grant bonus ammo rather than pulling ammo from the player inventory. Shooting destructible objects with the Graviton Lance, Sunshot, Merciless, Sturm, and Drang no longer trigger the exotic weapon perks. And lastly, they fixed an issue with Darcy's target acquired perk to make it more consistent. Moving on to the activities, first they have the raid. So the raid is now recommended power of 300, up from 270 I believe, and the prestige version is up to 330 rather than 300. Fixed an issue causing Cabal corpses to float in midair. Fixed an issue in the Nightmare realm of the Callous encounter, which is, I guess, like a cheese, I think it was. Fixed an issue where the raid keys could be removed from inventory when players create a new character. Didn't know about that. Raid keys will once again reset alongside checkpoints each week, so use them while you got them. Players traveling to the Leviathan now see proper spaceflight. For PvP, we have fixed cases where players could get out of the intendable playable area on a number of maps, using emotes, I imagine. The Hot Streak Challenge no longer progresses for the opposing team. The Capture 5 Zones Challenge now progresses for zones captured by allies, but it requires increased numbers of captures for completion. Advantage and domination stats now accumulate on assist. Fixed an issue causing previous kills to repeat in the kill feed prior to a new kill when a player obtains a kill streak. Increase the rate of rare rewards upon match completion in quick play and competitive playlist, and then increase the rate of legendary rewards upon match completion in quick play and competitive playlist. Increase XP rewards upon match completion in quick play and competitive playlist. So it sounds like a lot of good stuff for PvP. But moving on, for strikes, we have the Nightfall Strikes have now, the Nightfall Strikes now have a recommended power of 270, prestige at 330. They fixed an issue where the Savathun's Song Strike would not spawn a crystal that you needed to progress. They fixed an issue in the Inverted Spire where in some cases players who died had no valid spawn points. Increased Glimmer earned from strike completions, and increased XP rewards earned from strike completions. So now you have actually a better reason to complete them, but still. Moving on to public events, they fixed an issue where sometimes the Prime Ether Servitor would not spawn during the Ether resupply public events. Fixed an issue where the Cabal Gladiators would sometimes have horrific arm elasticity when being defeated during a Cabal Drill public event. I've seen plenty of those. Hilarious. Reduce the XP rewards of some public events to bring them more in line with other events, and reduce Glimmer earned from some public events to better balance with their counterparts. Reduce the rate of rare rewards to bring them in line with other activities, and then increase the rate of legendary rewards from public events for level 20 plus characters. For guided games, they have updated the recommended power level for Leviathan and Nightfalls, and then they improve clarity on guide selection screens in guided games. Full clans can now queue as guides for guided games. Faction rallies. Fixed an issue where the tower would not properly load faction victory flags for players who were in orbit when the flags were applied. Fix an issue preventing some players from pledging to a faction during faction rallies. Then fix an issue where faction tokens stored within the vault were not properly wiped between faction rally events. Wish I knew about that one, but I didn't. For Iron Banner, they fixed an issue where Lord Saladin would sometimes refer to Guardians by the wrong class. That didn't happen to me, but that just sounds funny. For Trials of the Nine, they fixed an issue where players could sometimes become stuck in the third spiral when attempting to visit the Flawless base. That happened to me every week I went Flawless. Fixed an issue where the Trials of the Nine tooltip displayed the wrong fireteam requirements. And then lastly, they fixed an issue where some emotes would not play correctly during the intro cinematic. Let's see, last here we have General. It's the last tab, we're almost there, hold on. We have for the UI, they fixed the missing buff icon when the Floor's Lava challenge is completed in the tower. Fixed an issue causing level up notification to persist on screen during Crucible matches. Fixed an issue preventing eligible exotic infusion materials from displaying properly in the infusion screen. Reduced the frequency of the HUD disabled warning shown when the HUD is turned off via HUD opacity settings. Fixed an issue causing the player indicator on the destination map to be incorrectly positioned while the player is dead. The flashing nameplate indicator for a player who is unable to launch an activity now displays appropriately for all fireteam members. Fixed an issue where notifications could be dismissed by bringing up the character screen. Fixed legibility issues with waypoint icons and text that were using the same color. Fixed an issue causing no kinetic ammo to briefly appear when a player was swapping weapons. Fixed an issue where loot stream notifications would hide challenges. Orbit PGCR correctly displays player tooltip information. I don't know what that is. Fixed an issue where players would be told they owned the Sturm's Symbiosis ornament even when they did not. Fixed an issue where competitive was misspelled on the Give Them War emblem. Fixed an issue where players would sometimes be prevented from dismantling gear. 4K and HDR support, they upgraded the resolution to adaptive 4K with HDR on the PS4 Pro, and they upgraded the resolution to 4K with HDR on the Xbox One X. Next, audio, they fixed an issue causing music to fail to play when players were completing the same adventure back to back. Fixed firing audio for the Husgro rocket launcher. And they fixed an audio issue in the memorialization replay sequence. I'm assuming that's the opening sequence if you're a veteran player. If not, whatever. For PC, players can now exit the game using a controller. Players can now keybind to the numpad when numpad is active. Numlock is active. The scroll wheel now works on a gear lower tabs. Fixed crashing in the new Pacific Archaeology area of Titan. And fixed a source of random crashes. Fixed an issue that prevented full screen mode from working properly in rare situations. Improved the accuracy of the in-game frame rate counter under fluctuating frame rates on PC. Fixed an issue where Destiny 2 would crash upon shutdown. And improved font texture handling to address cases of stuttering or hitching. Fixed an issue where some SLI configurations would cause frame rate stuttering. How ironic. Miscellaneous, last but not least, we're there. Fixed an issue where open world vendors would not load properly, resulting in a crash. Fixed an issue where two players on the same network could crash when leaving an area simultaneously. Fixed an issue where players would sometimes be launched into the wrong activity. Fixed an issue where hitching would occur when traditional Chinese language was selected. Added secondary and territory. Sorry, I can't say that word for some reason. Sorting out methods in the vault. Fix an issue that could result in beetle errors. Fix an issue where the Ludapalooza and dance party keys did not recover to the postmaster. Fix an issue causing improper lighting on player ships when flying to destinations. Fixed many cases where players could get out of the environment in various destinations. Fixed an issue causing Lewis to jitter erratically. That's the bird. That's Hawthorne's bird, if you didn't know. If you didn't happen to you, you would go talk to her and you would just like shake like he's about to break your game. But now it's fixed. fixed an issue where the camera would rotate awkwardly upon character respawn. And last but not least, they added missing Omelon emblem to the gunsmith rewards. Wow, that was a mouthful. Alright, so sorry if you got lost. I apologize. That was a very long video. Hopefully you kept up. Hopefully you paid attention. Hopefully this was helpful in some way or another. Now, I wanted to hold off to the end to give my short, brief notes. Now, the things I'm looking most forward to is going to be the Hunter. All those changes sound good to me, especially the Shadow Shot targeting enemies immediately, and the the Golden Gun actually lasting as long as it should, I suppose. Another thing is the super abilities on bosses. Super excited for that. Can't wait to see some, Celestial Nighthawks. Whew, that's going to be dangerous. One-shotting. I'm a little sad to see the pulse grenade damage toned down. Like, I know it was needed. It was OP as hell, but I just really enjoyed using it, just abusing it. But I think it's an overall good change for the community, and going forward in the game kind of balances everything out. I'm going to miss it. I'm sure other people will too. I'm sure some people will not miss it as well. Let's see, something else that stuck out to me. I think that was the most of them. I know they try to increase the fighting lying grenade launcher. I'm still not going to use that one. All of the PvP changes sound pretty good to me. Public events, I think they were fine where they were, but maybe this is better. Who knows? A lot of quality of life changes. I've been playing Curse of Osiris today for about 5 hours, give or take. And I've noticed it's a little more enjoyable to play certain things. I can't really pinpoint exactly what it is, but it just feels better. I'm not going to say this is groundbreaking. It's going to make the game 1,000 times better. It's definitely a step in the right direction, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this game will go. But if they don't keep it up, then I'm going to have to move on to Fortnite as well, I suppose. So that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you stuck with it. Hopefully it helped again. Hopefully I didn't put you to sleep. If I did, have a good night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.